Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
Hey, Tampa Bay, this is Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com. We are so happy you guys are joining us here on the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. It is Saturday or Sunday morning if you guys are listening to us live on the radio. So wake up. It's going to be a great morning and a great day. We have some great guests in studio. As always, my amazing co-host, Ksenia from Mahara and Associates. How you doing, Sen?
I'm doing great.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I
Good?
missed you last week on vacation, but it looks like you're on vacation again.
I know. Listen, I even messaged our guest over here, Chris. I was like, hey, listen, don't get too dressed up here because I'm in the summer gear today. Because if you're watching live on Instagram or Facebook, it is the first day of June. It is, I don't know if this is the first day of summer. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
It sure feels like it, doesn't it?
It does feel like it. It feels great. So I've got my summer shirt on. I got off a cruise ship. We're going to be hanging out at the beach a little bit this summer. It's going to be a great time. And I messaged our guest in here, Chris Ziebell, the broker owner of Realty One Group. I said, hey, don't get too dressed up. And you said what?
I said I'm wearing a tank top and jeans today, so not too dressed up.
Yes.
It's unusual, isn't it?
It is unusual. You actually, yeah, that's why I messaged you this morning, because she always dresses up and all done up to the nines. And I'm like, hey, you don't have to do that today, even though you are going to be on video. So I'm glad. And you got your new Mahara shirt on today?
Well, yeah, it's actually my old Mahara shirt. But yes, this is my, if I just need something easy and, comfy.
Yeah. So I am lucky today. Today I am flanked by two blonde real estate professionals, right? And I think exactly. You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It took a lot of work to get them both in the studio at the same time. No, but I am such an honored guy today because the two of you bring a crazy amount of real estate experience. You're two very tough, educated agents. We're going to talk some stats today. We're going to find out what's going on in the market, something Sen and I haven't done for a long time. We're going to talk about the luxury market with Chris today.
Okay.
Because Chris is.
Oh, perfect. Because, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, you got something on your mind already?
Well, no, because the stats, they show that luxury market's doing pretty well.
That's where it's at.
Okay, so little teaser. Sen brings the stats usually in the second segment of every show. And Chris being a broker owner herself, I'm sure she's going to be able to jive with these. But she's focusing on luxury. And I just heard the same thing last week. Somebody out of nowhere was talking about the price points and what's moving. And they threw something out to me that you guys are going to actually dispel or tell me if it's true today about luxury moving faster than some of the lower priced homes. I don't know. That's not normal. I'm just a mortgage guy. So we're going to find out today how that goes. We're going to tell a story about my house. If you guys have been following the show, I know some of you have been actually texting me about it. We have some great news. We are under contract, and I'm going to tell you.
Congratulations! Yay!
Ladies. It was a roller coaster, though, and we're going to talk some stories. And I know the two of you live and breathe this every day because you're on the real estate side, so you get to deal with crazy sellers and buyers like myself. So it's funny. Being in mortgages 26 years, you wear your mortgage hat, but as soon as you Yeah, I know what Chris is saying. She's shaking her head because we bought some properties together. And don't those hats come off so quickly?
Quickly.
And see, her and I, we got a great relationship. We'll like bust each other's butt pretty hard and be like, all right, stop it. Stay in your lane. And then she'll turn around and she'll be like, well, you get out of my lane then and you get back in your lane. And I'm like, God dang it. Neither one of us are riding in the right lane over here. But it is interesting how you get into it and all of a sudden you become the other person. You don't become the professional that you, and I even said it the other day to somebody. I was like, oh, I just did something I always tell people not to do. Anyway, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. We'll talk luxury real estate. We're going to do stats. Chris has a couple listings that you're going to throw out there for us today. So you'll get to stay tuned for that. These might be things that you haven't even seen online yet. We're also going to talk about Realty One Group and the splash that they're making here in town. Maybe you've heard this name. Maybe you've just said, wait, why do I keep hearing that? Well, you're not alone, because even Sen and I had said, this company, Realty One Group, it's like they came out of nowhere. Like they're a newer company to the market, at least to what I understand they are. But Chris is a proud member of them, so we're going to find out a little bit about her brokerage and what Realty One is, where they came from. And we will also talk about the 1% buy down today. We've talked about it because it just started a couple weeks ago. This only goes through June 30th, where all of your buyers, this is both for Sen and Chris and everybody, you guys can get 1% off of your interest rate. So if you qualify, let's say for 6.375 on a 30-year fixed, you could have 5.375 for the first year at no cost. So that's a really big deal right now. It's probably one of the best specials we've seen in the market for a very long time.
It's a huge deal.
It is a thank
And
you.
I have somebody closing on that loan today.
Oh my gosh. I wonder with who.
I wonder. I wonder who it is. It's the only one who has the program.
Yes.
That would be you.
And that happens to be me. So, by the way, Lincoln Lending Group, that's where you guys go. Go to lincolnlendinggroup.com. And we're going to give out some information throughout the show as well for these two wonderful ladies. Chris works all of the Tampa Bay area, but you are on the other side of the bridge, let's call it, which is actually the side we're on right now. But you're more on the Pinellas side, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where your ROG office is.
It's in Clearwater, yeah.
Clearwater, yep. So we'll talk about that, and then actually, why don't you tell everybody if they want to write it down right now? How do they get in touch with you? We talked about your website, I think, is your easiest thing.
Yeah, easiest way to get in touch, rogbeyond.com.
Can't mess that up, guys. 3 letters, rogbeyond.com. rogbeyond.com is super, super easy to remember. Chris is going to talk about recruiting opportunities. If you are a real estate, I see her smiling over there.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a real estate agent, I have a feeling at some point today she's going to tell you why ROG might be the place. I know Mahara Associates is listening right now.
Sorry.
No, we love doing this though. This is fun. Hey, we've had other mortgage people, we've had insurance people on here. We like spreading the wealth and learning from each other. So that's what the show's about. We've got a couple minutes left in this segment. Let's talk summer here. Let's start with Chris, and we'll go to Sen. How's your summer going? I know you got the kids some and stuff. How's summer feeling? Is it stressful? Is it not stressful? You happy? What's going on?
I'm always happy. Yes. Market is actually pretty good. I know summers tend to slow down here because it gets muggy and too hot, and a lot of the out-of-state buyers are not going to want to be here to look at houses, but that's where luxury is a little different because boating season is here. And waterfront properties in Tampa Bay are actually pretty much the most affordable ones in the U.S. So a lot of the waterfront properties are moving. They're getting listed. They're getting a lot of attention, and I have 2 of those. Plus one coastal one that does not have its own boat slip. But, oh well, if you want to be by the water but not have a boat, that's an option.
Well, let me stop you there. You just said 2 things, and I don't think I quite understand the difference. You said waterfront and coastal.
Well, coastal is you're not on the water, but you're very close to the water.
Ah, okay.
So you can walk to the water. You can kind of see the water in a yoga pose from the front patio if the neighbor has trimmed their palm tree properly, but you're not on the water.
Okay, I got it. Now, waterfront, when you say waterfront, are we talking saltwater and freshwater? We talking everything?
Well, the boaters, they're going to want to have salt water, right? So intercoastal or just open to the Gulf. And I have one listing in Tarpon Springs that's open to a private canal with direct Gulf access. And then I have another one that's off market right now, which is an acre in Tarpon Springs on the Anclote River.
Whoa.
I love Tarpon Springs.
Tarpon Springs is
If
beautiful.
I only had $1 million.
Right.
I know, right?
Right? Tarpon Springs, the sponge docks. You know how many people come
Rusty
here?
Bellies.
Rusty Bellies. That place is awesome.
That is awesome.
But you know, like that place, if you drive down there just to have lunch, it's a tourist trap. Like people come from all around the world to see the sponges.
I know.
Like, we grew up with the sponges. At least I did. I mean, I was like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a Greek restaurant. That's what you do. You go down there and eat some Greek food. But tell us about this place, this super secret place in Tarpon Springs.
Well, so, with the hurricanes in 2024, a lot of those homes got flooded, and this was one of them. And so the owner took it apart and did not go ahead and rebuild it and is just selling it. So it's a huge opportunity with a full acre, and you can build a dock on it, put a boat lift on it, and call it good.
Wow. Open water?
Open water.
Oh, super secret. So if they want to get in touch with you about that, I know they can go to ROG Beyond and they can find you. So if you guys are driving, that's the easy way, ROG Beyond. But what about, is there a number they should call directly?
Well, yes, you can call my cell phone directly.
What is that?
It's super secret. It's 727-515-2185.
That is not too hard, actually. 515-2185.
That's right.
See, I remember that on the first go. 515-2185. So that's the super secret listing. And if you guys want to get on that before it's marketed actually online, that's probably what I would do if I was you, because luxury is moving. Can you tell us how much that's going to cost?
It's going to be just under $1 million.
Just under $1 million. What a magic price
But
point.
it does have a structure on there, which is a garage, and it has a garage apartment over it, which is currently rented. So it's actually income producing at the moment.
Whoa, over an acre, income producing, open water, and you're under $1 million. If I was you, I'd probably go to ROG Beyond right now and look into that property. You're going to have to probably get Chris on the phone, though, and say, I want to talk to you about the one that's on the radio.
That's right.
You're not allowed to give the address, or are
Nope.
you? I didn't think so. No. So this might not even exist. You guys never know. But if you go to ROG Beyond, you'll find out. Sen, how about you? How's the summer starting?
Starting good.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually, I have a new listing too, but not on the water.
Yeah.
However, it's over 2,400 square feet and it's under $400,000.
Whoa.
nice.
I know.
Now, where's that?
It's a Tampa address. It's not far from downtown. So like Claremelle area.
Okay.
Not quite Brandon, but convenient drive to get to Tampa, to the
Nice.
highways to get you, and other spots. But I mean, for that price, newer built home.
Yeah.
Really great layout. So I think for a family that is looking for something affordable, this is it.
All right. How are they going to get in touch with you for that one?
They're going to call me at 813-755-REAL.
That's it, 755-REAL. So you've got something under 400K, over 2,000 feet. I got to get off 10 seconds before I got to do a commercial. Anyway, two great deals, two great ladies. Give them a call so you can find those when we get back from the Business Happy Hour break here. We're going to find more about Chris and do some stats. Stay tuned. I tried, man. I tried.
So, Frank, I do have one listing that's public that's on the water.
Okay.
If we can throw that in somewhere, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Because the owner's probably
Why
going to
don't
be
we
like, why are you boosting the other one?
Why don't we stay on listings when we get back, and you give a little more on yours, you give that other one out, we'll give out the numbers again, and then we will go right into stats.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. All right. We're ready when you are, Mr. James.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Ksenia Ksenia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. Today is all real estate all day long, and we're having a good time. It is the beginning of summer. That's why we have our summer gear on. Sen's got her short sleeve on over there. We got the tank top with Chris. I'm doing the shameless plug to the Chubbies weekend shirts, by the way. Super comfortable, super nice for all you gentlemen out there. And it makes you feel like you're in summer. Does it just make you feel good when you get to dress like this? Like, I'm happy. I'm normally a happy guy, but when I put on a shirt like this and I look in the mirror, I'm like, man, life is good.
I mean, especially if you're on the beach, though.
Right?
I feel like you got to get out into, pool, beachside, margarita in
do.
hand.
So speaking of that, all right, we're going back to listings, by the way, because we have these awesome pocket listings, and we don't do this that often. So we're going to talk about pocket listings. We'll talk about my listing. Then we're going to do stats. But before that, beach and the life on the beach. So a lot of you want to move to Florida, okay? We've got these waterfront places we're trying to sell you. We got something near downtown over here. But when you move to Florida, all right, for example, I played golf on Saturday with my son, and they threw a guy on with us because he was a single guy after the kids left, right? And he's like, can I play with you guys? Sure. So where are you from? I'm from New York. Oh, really? I've been here 6 years. I came here during the whole COVID thing. You get into all the politics talk and why you came here and all this. But he started talking about living on the beach and how different it is. And he's like, man, I don't know how you guys do it. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, how do you work? I'm like, well, I don't know. I get up and go to work. He goes, no. If you're over on the beach, because that's where he's staying right now, he's like, I put on like a flower shirt. I walk outside. He goes, it's like impossible not to drink every day. You said margarita. It was what made me think.
Well, no, I can't. I don't think I could work if I was wearing that shirt.
No,
Frank.
I can barely work
I would
right
distract
now.
myself in that thing.
But so I'm at my beach condo, right? Full disclosure, we go there in the summer and kind of go back. I work still. We go back and forth. But I ran into one of my neighbors who's in commercial real estate. We were going down the elevator today, both going to work. And he's like, oh man, this sucks. I'm like, I know. He goes, you know what the worst part is? He goes, getting home and not drinking when you're staying on the beach. And I'm like, that is so true, because your brain gets into this. I need a margarita. I need a beer. And you kind of have to be like, no. I'm not on vacation. I'm still working. But that's the hard part, guys. If you're trying to move to Florida, we're warning you. It's tough. It's tough not to have fun all the time, right, ladies?
Well, that and boating is another thing where you're on the boat. It's like boating and day drinking, they kind of go together. It's kind of tough to go on a boat and not have a drink.
Are you
It's
allowed
tough to have a boat and not go on the boat.
Well, how about that, right? But how do you, you have a boat, you have to go on the boat. You have a boat, you have to have a drink. How do you do it? I don't know. I don't have a boat right now.
Well, don't get one if you want to stay,
You
stay clear of the
if you want to stay
margaritas.
sober and stay clear. Yes. Anyway, so there's the rules. Come to Florida. Let's go back to these listings here. Let's see. You had one that's on market right now, Chris.
Yes, I have one in Tarpon Springs in Anclote Isles that has its own boat lift and is on a private canal, direct Gulf access. It's one of those things where you're going to definitely have that drink in the evening. You're going to go on your sunset cruise. It's in your backyard.
How do you not?
How do you not? And it's great because if you own a boat and it's in the marina, it's an effort to go there, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to get in my car, drive to the marina. This is literally in your backyard. You're going to use your boat all the time. So if you want to get the best bang for the buck for owning a boat, you park it in your backyard.
That's a really
and
good
that's
point.
under 1.2 million. So it's a crazy good deal in a great neighborhood. And
Are you allowed to give the address on that one?
yes,
All right, let's do that one.
it's 1114 Marina Drive.
1114 Marina Drive. How big is it?
It's about, I'm going to say 2,600 square feet. Might be 2,700. I should probably know this, but whoops.
Right. I'll call the realtor.
Yeah.
No, it seems like a pretty good deal though on the water.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, just beautiful.
Now, with the lift, on the water, open access, in a canal, I mean, you said under what? 1 point what?
Under 1.2, so it's listed at 115.
That's really good.
It's great.
That is really, really good. So if you guys want, now what's the neighborhood?
It's Anclote Isles.
Anclote Isles.
It's a little community. It's fantastic. It's very private.
Yeah, I've been to Anclote. I've gone out of that marina a bunch of
Right.
times. And a lot of guys like that marina. There's something about it. I think it's because it's really close to open water.
Yeah,
Isn't that
and
what it
5
is?
minutes from Rusty Bellies, and you can't beat it.
That's what it is. Yeah. I knew that
Live
there was
music on Fridays. You get on the boat.
I take it you go there a lot.
Sometimes.
Yes. So well, you know where you're going to find Chris now on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock through Sunday at 3:30.
Yes.
Yes. A.M. That is. Oh man, we're having too much fun. So in all seriousness, if you want to get in touch with Chris about these, real easy to go to her website. That's rogbeyond.com. rogbeyond.com. Sen, did you have any other listings or anything before we go into stats?
Well, that's the one I wanted to throw out there.
Yeah. Throw it one more time just so they remember.
Sure. And the address is actually 4321 Globe Thistle Drive.
Globe Thistle.
Globe Thistle.
All right, there we go.
But yes, great floor plan. I had an open house this weekend. That's how I spent my weekend.
Yes.
And you know what? It was good. Really great feedback. It's nice and clean. And
How
the
was
seller's already got her next place. So it's ready to be bought and
Motivated.
moved into. Yes.
Yeah, open houses were popping last weekend.
Where are they? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about that. How was your open house? How many people do? Is it up, down? How
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but I mean, still, I was really glad
Steady
to
biz, steady
have
people.
some traffic. Yeah.
And how about you? You're seeing some good traffic in open houses?
Yeah, I went to 2 that my agents were holding, and they both had crazy good traffic. And I think part of that is because a lot of buyers are now waiting for open houses to see them because they don't want to commit to a realtor.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, you'd hold an open house. It was pretty clear you were holding it only for 2 reasons. 1, to appease the seller that you were doing marketing, and 2, to pick up buyers for other properties, not that property. And during the past 6 months, I've had 3 deals where the home was purchased by somebody who walked into the open house unrepresented.
Me too. My closing today. Yep.
Isn't
Guy
that
came
nuts?
through the open house.
It was unheard of a couple of years ago, and now it's becoming a thing because people are like, oh, I'm just going to work with the listing agent, or I'm just going to wait until an open house. So not doing an open house, huge disservice to a seller.
Wow. And
Yeah.
yours was just bought by an unrepresented buyer.
Well, no, he was represented, but the agent got to lay back and just have his client give him a call. Hey, I want this one, write up the offer.
Interesting.
But no, a lot of buyers are doing that. So the ones that are walking through usually do have the buyer's agreement. Every once in a while not, but for the most part they're represented, but they don't want to bother their agent. They want to come at their convenience. And yeah, I mean, I believe in open houses for sure.
I think it's so funny when they don't want to bother their agent. It's like, it's your job, literally.
Yeah.
You have one job, right? As a buyer's agent, show the houses to your buyers. No, I love it. So we'll take a break here and we'll get back. This is great talk about the open houses, and I'll share my experience as well because my property did go under contract here, and it was from a person from the open house. Matter of fact, my first offer on the property was an unrepresented open house person, and a couple of the other ones. It was all open house traffic that did it. So stay tuned in the Business Happy Hour. We'll be back with Chris Ziebell with Realty One Group and Ksenia Ksenia with Mahar and Associates.
It goes fast.
It does go
This
fast.
is already like half
We're
done.
already at the halfway point. Exactly. So we'll go back into this. We'll tell that story, and then we're just going to go. Actually, we got to do stats. I think we got to go right into that. Actually, I'll mention mine, and then we'll go stats, and then we'll finish this segment with kind of starting in your story of how you got into real estate, and then we'll talk all luxury in the last segment.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
Sound like a plan.
It sounds like a plan.
Sound like a plan,
It's going
Stan.
so fast. Especially when we have a bunch of real estate people on here. It's so much easier. Not for you guests are not real estate. You guys are still good. All right, go ahead, James. You good?
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Ksenia, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. We're having a great all real estate based show today. We've got 3 of these super secret listings out there. One of them you can't even know the address for because it's so secret, but it is over an acre of open water in the Tarpon Springs area. You guys cannot find that anywhere. And what Sen brought up a second ago, under $400,000 to get 2,500 square feet near downtown. I mean, I hope the market isn't crashing because that's a good deal right there. We're going to do stats here in just 1 second, but I promise to tell the story of my house. A lot of you guys have been following this. We've been on the market now a few weeks. We listed, which Sen and I talked about in talking about the market and all this. In I feel like I thought I was listing at the right time, listing at the kind of second half of May, getting ready for the summer. But even though we had some really crazy open house activity, I wasn't getting a lot of offers right off the bat. But then we talked about on the radio last week, it's like it's gradually getting busier. And what I said last week on the air, 2 weeks ago, and I forgot I was gone last week, was that I think the buyers have been kind of waiting until after the graduation stuff. And I feel like things are hot right now, Chris. I mean, are you seeing this? Like, I think summer is our spring. And there was I don't know if there's a lot of graduations this year or not. It just seems like it was like a bigger deal than normal, but it was going on over the last couple of weeks and people were inundated. But now they're writing contracts. Now they're looking. Now they're seeing. And we had 2 open houses 2 weekends in a row. Had over 20 people through on both of them. And did end up going under contract. And this is leading eventually into the luxury talk. I don't know if I'm considered luxury, but we listed just under $1 million, and I expected multiple offers, and we did get it on 2 different rounds, and eventually sold for a price I'm very happy with, above listing price, with the closing date that I wanted, to a family that I love. What I've seen about the family, it's like our family going into the house, which, by the way, that does mean something to sellers. I would say, before being a seller, what are they talking about? Who gives a crap? Get the money. But when you see the people who are going into your house and you get a feel for the families, it definitely tugs on you a little bit. You kind of like, I could see them in my house. Look,
we're
Chris
both cringing over here. It's
You
like
guys are
fair
cringing.
housing, fair housing.
Oh, am I not allowed to say that? Am I not? I don't know. What did I do wrong? Am I not allowed to say that? What rule did I just break?
Well, I mean, for sure, but I do think that is true, because the house that I bought, I made sure I went to the open house and the sellers were there, because this was like during like COVID times when there was like multiple offers. I'm like, all right, what can I do to really, put that impression on to, give that extra leg up?
And?
Well, I got the house.
You got it. Yeah.
I mean, sellers can be influenced by anything pretty much. As a real estate professional, you cannot give any sort of preference to a buyer based on familial status or anything like that.
Well, likability.
Well, what, can the seller have an opinion, though?
Seller can have any opinion they like, and I don't want to hear about it.
Okay. Well, the seller. Sorry, guys. My iPhone died in the middle of our Instagram. I didn't realize that. Look at this. There's 2 cords, and they both look
None
identical.
of them are plugged in.
I was one of the idiot. I plugged in one half on one side and the other half on the other side. So anyway, we'll be back on Instagram in a minute. For all you people that were just following our Instagram, are like, where do they go? So anyway, that's the story of my house. It did go under contract. Very happy. We're getting everything that we think both sides wanted. By the way, if the buyers don't want it, I have a 10-foot Brunswick professional Treviso pool table. It was like $14,000 brand new. Anyway, gonna sell it because I can't bring it to the new house. So if my new buyers don't want it, it is gonna get sold. So I'm just throwing it out there on the radio, since we know we have thousands of people listening to all these pocket listings. You guys can buy this amazing pool table if you want. It's in perfect condition. Just reach out to me, 813-765-1239. With that said, Sin and stats.
Sin and stats.
How
I like
are we
it.
doing? She brings the stats every week, and then we're going to discuss these with a couple real estate agents and a mortgage guy.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. So,
And I'm going to turn you guys back on Instagram Live real quick, by the
okay.
way. So if you see that pop up.
All right, sounds good. So we've got April numbers, and Chris, normally I just go to our, Suncoast Realtors org. They, provide these every month, and this is where I get the numbers. So
They're reliable numbers, so.
they're reliable numbers, but
We just
the
make
one
them
thing
up.
we say though is when you look at, each niche, so like pull up Carrollwood or South Tampa, it really doesn't boil down. But hey, overall, normally I talk about the median sale price, and that's because that's kind of the affordability factor. But the number that's been sticking out more is our average sale price, which is always, much higher than median sale price. But now we're also seeing that the year over year number has increased, outpaced the median sale price. And I think that it's because with the average, you're getting a lot of those, multi-million-dollar homes. And I actually heard on the news somewhere that Tampa has been, like, in the country, I think one of the biggest drivers with the luxury real estate.
There's a lot of developers that are focusing in the area right now with luxury real estate. And there's, big condo towers being built. And St. Pete is one of the hot spots. So,
and I think lots of people moving here too. So that are in that
yeah.
luxury price point, we're a great place to be.
Right. And then there's also, the anticipation of a possible removal of property taxes is driving a lot of traffic, because anybody who's like that will increase the purchase power insanely on the luxury side because the taxes are high.
What is luxury? What can we define that? What does that mean?
Well, it's different for everybody. And it's not really a price point. It's more of a lifestyle than anything else. So, anything, statistically in Pinellas County, luxury is considered, I think, $675 and over, which for me seems a little bit low. I usually say like anything over $1 million, you can kind of consider luxury.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah. And 1.5 or 1 million is usually where I would benchmark it.
1.5. Okay. Yeah, I think depending on where you are, right?
Right. And it depends entirely on, there's some locations you can't get anything nice for that, and then there's others where you're going to be in a mansion. So it really depends on the location as
Yeah,
well.
in South Tampa, $1 million, that's probably going to be luxury. Just
Right.
a regular old house.
Right. Yeah. I mean, sadly, that is kind of how it is, isn't it? It is almost kind of like sad, regular old house when you get over. I keep trying to get you on the video. I cannot seem to do it. I'm doing something wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to run radio and Instagram at the same time. All right.
And chew gum.
And
you're a dude.
I mean, golly. See, that could have been a great time for one of the words I'm allowed to use. But anyways. Okay, there you go. Just got Ksenia invited again. Hopefully it works that time. I keep trying to do it for you, Sen. I don't know what's going down with that. Anyway, so we know what luxury is, and I know Sen's going to get it. I don't keep messing with you because you're trying to get your video on here. If you want to get that. See, it says you joined.
It's not popping up. I don't know.
It's not popping up.
Well, I'm joined. I can see the both of you, but I'm not getting the little
so weird
thing I click on to actually join again.
I'm going to invite you again and see why that's not going in there. But I guess go ahead and tell us a little bit about the stats of what are we doing up and down? How are we looking?
Okay, so overall, and I think you've seen this, like the year started off great, and then we have seen a bit of a lag in sales. The war news. So for April, we were still a little bit down for activity year over year. So down 2% in Hillsborough County. Pinellas was actually up by almost 4% in closed sales. The other thing that I've been seeing, which is great to ask you about, our inventory. Mm-hmm. Where it was kind of climbing. And now for new listings year over year, we're down by 14%. And the month's supply change year over year is also down by almost 12%.
Yeah, so April was a little bit of a funky month because there was a slowdown, and then a lot of the sellers, they decided to hold off for a little bit. Everybody's looking at interest rates like that's going to be the determining factor, which it shouldn't be. And some sellers are like, yeah, we'll get back to it after the summer because nobody wants to really be in July trying to sell their home, especially if the out-of-state buyers are kind of the target group. So
ultimately, I do think it's interest rates because the number has actually been going down where I haven't seen that in a while. But the last, couple months, we need the inventory. We do need the buyers too. But I think to, really get back to that healthy, balanced market, we need both.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And it has been a lot more balanced than it was 6 months ago. It was not good. But
we're seeing more inventory pop up now.
Yeah, we're seeing more, but also the buyers were taking incredible time to make up their mind. I mean, the market slowed way down. Remember a couple of years ago when it was crazy? It was like somebody wanted to see a home. You showed it within the hour because it was gone.
Right.
Now you got buyers calling you like, yeah, can I see the property on Saturday next week? And you're like, sure. It's probably going to be around.
Yeah,
like the urgency's not there anymore because the competition is not as urgent anymore either.
Now, you guys noticing that different markets are showing different urgency or different excitement?
Well, the lowest price points are going to be the one with the most urgency because they do tend to go because the buyer pool is insanely big comparative to the higher price points.
I think overall, really, if you're positioned well and it's a nice home and you're priced accordingly, those are still moving. And I think buyers are educated enough when they see that, they do jump on it.
Right.
Because we've been in situations like multiple offers. I mean, I've talked to lots of agents. Like I've had, plenty of listings that are getting multiple offers on them. And yeah, the one I'm closing today, I mean, we were under contract within 24 hours pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Well, and I always tell people the cute ones sell. So, stage it, make it look nice. Mm-hmm. It'll sell.
Speaking of that, we got to take a break here on the Business Happy Hour. When we get back, we're going to learn a little bit more about Chris and who she is and what is Realty One Group. Also talk more about the stats. In staging, I will back up what she said is declutter your house, stage your house. We can pick up on that when we get back from the break in just a minute on the Business Happy Hour. So a little Instagram talk while we're doing it. I got you back on. Woo!
Yeah.
We did decluttering. Right. And we had multiple people ask during the open houses if the house was staged. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? But we got rid of all of our personal pictures, all of like random decor and knickknacks and all that stuff, and it made a huge difference in people seeing the video.
You know, any occupied home, I always tell people to buy those big bins from Home Depot.
Exactly.
And even if it's right before a showing, you just do this, shove everything in there, put it in the garage, put the lid back on, and pick it back up after the showing. Like, get rid of the stuff.
And not for nothing, like now we're talking about moving and stuff like that, and a lot of your job is done because a lot of that crap is off the wall.
A lot of it is trash. Like, you open one of them and you're like, what am I even putting back here?
Right,
like,
right,
This is
exactly.
garbage. No, but to speak for that, so the listing that I have, actually, it's not new to the market.
Yeah.
She just fired her other agent.
Oh, okay.
And it's because when you look at the pictures, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, not only was the photographer not very good, he did not advise her on any of that stuff. There was stuff on the counters, and I'm like,
My
I'm not
favorite
too
is
shy.
when the
That is part
kitchen's
of our
full of
job.
dirty.
Like, we have to not be shy enough to say, hey, you should just, clear this out, move this. And I mean, it helped. She had 3 showings, I think, during their 30 days. We've been on for not even a week, and I had way more activity, probably, 3 times the activity that she had.
It's all how it
for
presents.
the entire.
We're ready, James. You can fire it. And I'll say,
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates.
so picking right back up where we were talking about the stats and the market and all that, because I want to make sure we save time to learn a little bit more about Chris, even though we know she knows everything about real estate. We want to learn who the heck she is. It's very interesting, the advice, like you just took over this listing and you have way more activity. It really, really has a lot to do with how it presents online. And if the house has been cleaned up, and Chris, you made a comment about the kitchen when we were on break. If the kitchen looks clean and inviting, you want to move into that house. Those pictures. So as a consumer, we were sitting back, after the first open house weekend, and we got our first offer, and blah blah blah, and then we were a week in, and we were expecting the multiple offers, right? And we're kind of like a little disgruntled, like, oh, what's going on? Where's all of our offers at?
Well, did you blame your realtor for that?
Of course I did.
Yes.
That's what you always do. Blame your realtor, right, Billy? Right now.
Why don't I have an offer yet?
Why don't I have an offer? No, but if you go online and tell for your sellers and buyers, go online and look at the activity of your house on Zillow, for example, versus other houses. And what we looked for is like, okay, what are the top 3 houses that actually compare to ours? Have what we have, present well, cleaned up, modified, whatever you call it, remodeled. And we noticed the activity, and it matched what you two see on the street. Is we were probably 5-fold on the views and on the shares. And there's thing online you can see when they share it to their real estate agent. We saw that we were like 4 times as high as anybody else. So it told us as a consumer, we're doing right. We're in the right spot. Just wait for the buyer, right? So anyway. Side note from a consumer / professional on that. What else do we got to do on stats? Let's talk about this market, and then we can go back into learn a little bit about Chris.
Well, I did also pull actually just Florida-wide numbers as well, and they, pretty much line up to where we're at here with, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco. Closed sales were up just a bit by 2%, which is good because the 2 months before that, we were down on the closed sales volume. And I think that it's going to be even better for our May numbers.
Okay.
Because we are seeing that activity. And like we talked, on the last show, what do we say? That we think spring is probably going to happen in summer, where typically we're used to, a certain kind of spring activity, which this year we just think it's delayed.
I think
it's not
so too.
gone, but yeah. So I think summer is going to be good, and we'll just keep.
I think it's starting
busier.
the right way. How are you feeling about all this, Chris?
I think June's going to be real interesting. I think there's a lot of activity going on right now.
I do too. I feel like, and it's June 1st right now, so we're getting into it. But I think feeling what we have over the last couple of weeks, and real quick, I'll leave it to this before we go backwards and learn a little bit about Chris Ziebell here, is this whole war thing. Like things we talked about at Sen and I on the radio, that before these bombs started dropping, whenever that was in like March or whatever, in February, this market was hot. Like Chris and I have talked about it. We had a hot January and February, and we were strapping our boots on. Like we were ready, like for real. And then it stopped. But then now a lot of news this weekend about where we're going, and not for nothing, my prediction is Mr. Trump's not going into the 250th anniversary of this country at war. I have a feeling no matter what, we're going to be calmed before then. And I'm crossing my fingers we see something happen like this week so that June prediction that Chris just brought up happens. So.
Well, here, to finish off the stats,
please.
the one positive number I have, though, and this is our tell that May is going to be better for closings, is that new pending sales were up.
Ooh, how much
So
were they
new
up?
pending sales is what's going to turn into contracts and closings. Let me find it.
That's good. I'm one of those.
Almost, 9.6% in Hillsborough and 9.2% in Pinellas.
Oh,
Yes.
that's strong. Almost double digits right there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're going into it. So, Chris, you agree with the stats? Are you on the same page?
I agree with the stats.
I love it. Get
Stats
ready.
don't lie.
Stats don't lie. We love it. So, Chris, we don't have a whole lot of time, so we're going to have you back on later in the summer to learn more about you. We got to talk so much about real estate and listings today, but will you tell us in a couple minutes a little bit about where you came from and what made you go into real estate and do the ROG franchise or branch that you have?
So I was an attorney back in the day. I'm originally from Finland, moved to the U.S. in 2010. Doing real estate is kind of like doing law, but a lot more fun. And so I ended up, getting into this positive. Guy was in disputes. It was all negative. So I got into a more positive way of using my skill set, which is negotiating good deals for my clients.
Yeah.
And real estate is fun. I mean, it is fun. So I started doing that. And then ROG, I ended up joining. I originally got licensed in Arizona. And Realty One Group's been around for more than 20 years.
Oh.
It's a big company nationwide, although it's, kind of like raising its head now in Florida.
Oh, it is.
So I'm raising the head of ROG. Anyway, it's I love the company. It's really awesome. It's family owned. It was founded by this one dude called Kuba. I've never met a leader who leads with heart as much as he does. It's a fantastic company, and it's kind of a hybrid model where it's 100% commission, but it has all the bells and whistles of any brokerage. So I love it.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Florida, I knew I had to set one up in Clearwater.
I love it. Well, I think you were the right person to do it because
Thank you.
You're like, it's raising its ugly head. It's true though. Like from Sen and I noticing it, you were the first ROG broker agent I ever met, right? And now
I'm privileged.
You're the only. But there have been some other ones since then, and I'm always like, oh, with Chris, and then I learned, oh wait, it's not just that. This is a bigger company.
There's a couple of offices out here, and we're growing, and we're growing fast, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So let's remind everybody, how do they get in touch with you? Because I know you wanted to talk about recruiting, so we've got about a minute and a half. Let's talk. Who are you recruiting right now? Who is the right person for the ROG group?
The right person is somebody who wants to double their business in the next 12 months.
Oh.
Simple as that.
Well, I think some of them are listening.
Well, there you go. I mean, I've done it myself year over year when I was with Realty One in Arizona.
Okay.
Doubled it again. It's not complicated. It's just consistency and.
So you have the right systems and processes in place for an agent to come in and do that.
Well, there's only two ways to do it. Either increase your volume, which involves increasing your resources sometimes, or you increase your price point. I know how to do both.
That's it. And speaking of luxury means increasing your price point, and you work in that luxury field. So if you want to talk to Chris, it is rogbeyond.com. Best place to find you to talk about recruiting as well, ROG Beyond?
Yeah. And my phone number is right on the website. It comes straight to my cell phone, so I answer my own phone.
Whoa.
There's no HR in between.
I love it.
I do my own stunts. I answer my own phone.
Nice.
And she has her own podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
Real Estate and Beyond.
There you go. Real Estate and Beyond is the name of the podcast. We'll have to have you guys check that out. And we promise we'll get Chris back on this show later in the summer. We are enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you for bringing all your knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yes. And you can see we all like to play at nice in the sandbox here at the Business Happy Hour with Mortgage, Real Estate, Mahar and Associates, Realty One Group, Lincoln Lending Group. You can find us all. And if you forget everything we talked about, go to lincolnlendinggroup.com, look me up. My cell phone number's on there, and just say, I want to talk to one of those amazing real estate agents, and I will put you in touch with either one anytime. And don't forget about the pocket listings, the best deals in town right here on the Business Happy Hour. We'll see you all next week. Bye. All right. All right, Instagram. We're still live on Instagram. Don't